0009, Ordinance 23-173, respecting solar energy facilities.
Thank you again, sir.
Durable U.
Good evening again. This proposed ordinance 23-173 is for solar energy facilities. Currently, a solar energy facility would only be allowed via a special use permit in one zoning district, the I-2 zoning district. And that's because it currently would fall into the definition of a public utility heavy as an electrical generating plant and facility. This amendment will separate solar energy facilities into their own defined land use, and it would allow them to be permitted by special use permit in the A2, A3, and RU zoning districts. This ordinance, if approved, will also set minimum standards for those facilities. The Planning Commission recommended approval with a 6-0 vote on the 18th, and staff is recommending approval of this ordinance. So you'll notice right away from this map that the RU, the rural, the agricultural 2, and the agricultural 3 make up a lot of the county. And it is for that reason that that the county's receptive, that we're considering these solar energy facilities only as a special use. We've added a definition to define the solar energy facility. I won't read it to you. In addition to that solar energy facility, we've defined integrated photovoltaic material and regular old photovoltaic material as detailed within your ordinance. So on the topic of solar energy facilities, these are not them. These are standard photovoltaic panels that can be placed on your roof or on your farm that we are not attempting to regulate with this ordinance. And the Planning Commission had us revise the definition to better define what these SEFs were, and I want to be clear that it is not our intent to regulate these. We're looking to regulate solar farms. Within the ordinance before you are a number of minimum standards for these facilities. Some of the highlights are that they will require adequate emergency access and compliance with county, federal, state codes. That each case, because it's going to be reviewed with special use, we will be able to look at on its own and individually. And one of the tools that staff will use to determine to what degree the facility would be screened from roadways or other uses such as homes or farms would be a view shed analysis that we would receive for each special use case, and we would certainly talk about it much like we talked about the photo simulations during the last case. Additionally, a phasing plan for the construction and a decommissioning plan for the closure of the facility are requirements. There's also a requirement for a surety so that the county is confident that the facility will be removed at the end of its life cycle. There's also a requirement that should a change of ownership occur, that the county must be notified within 60 days. And there's actually about 20 different requirements in your ordinance. These are just the highlights. So I'll stand by for your questions. I imagine everyone, I'll take your questions at this time.
Any questions from the board?
Yeah, I do, sir.
Mr.
Please.
Skinner.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to make sure I understand that what we currently have is it's within the I-2 zoning, but what we're moving to is allowing it as a special use permit in A2, A3, and RU?
Yeah, right, that's correct. Right now, these solar energy facilities, if someone were to propose one of these to us today, then we would have to tell them that the only way to accommodate that would be to rezone that property to industrial 2 and then apply for a special use permit for a heavy public utility. Instead of that roundabout way, because of the way that use is classified, we're proposing to take that use away from the public utility heavy and treat it as its own separate thing, a solar energy facility.
Okay. Thank you very much, appreciate that.
Sure.
I'm just going to add, this probably doesn't pertain, but do we have any wind-powered, like these big windmills that we see out there in other areas? Is there any ordinance that we have that control where those things go?
Not that I'm aware of. While the county, we understand that the opportunities for solar power are much greater than wind power here.
Thank you.
Hey, Mr. Benton.
I was just going to make a motion to approve it.
Oh, it's time to open the public
Oh, shoot. Daggone.
hearing. Any other questions from the board? Okay, we'll now open the public hearing. Amy, has anybody signed up to speak?
No, sir.
Would anybody like to speak at this time that didn't sign up to speak? Close the public hearing. Any other discussion?
Okay, now I'll make a motion to approve it.
Okay, motion on the floor. Any discussion? Call the question.
Seven, yes.
Okay. Thank you very much, Patrick.